from the BBC World Service in association with ABC and All India Radio. This is Stumped.
Hello and welcome to Stumped, your intercontinental hit of news, features and debate from the quirky world of cricket. I'm Alison Mitchell in London and had a really interesting week. It was the end of Mental Health Awareness Week and actually did an introductory course in equine facilitated psychotherapy, which is something I've been interested in for a while, as Jim knows very well, being a horse lover as well, but having that interest in mental health. Those are fascinating and amazing animals in the same way that, you know, dogs can help with the visually impaired, horses can help with mental health. It was a really interesting exercise to do. Combined it with a little bit of walking in the Chiltern Hills and got absolutely drenched. But this time next week, we'll be in test match mode with the first men's test at Lord's getting underway. And I'm glad to say the sun is out finally in London.
Yes, it's Jim Maxwell here in Sydney. Nice to see that horse riding guitarist having so much fun and almost thinking of summer in England, I suppose. It's a chilly 18 degrees here in Sydney. This is winter, so it's not too bad. But there's not much going on with the world of cricket. We're just having lockdowns. Famously, infamously, whatever you like, in Victoria. They have them all the time. I mean, it's like a festival season of lockdowns, or only in Victoria. So I'm telling all my Victorian friends to emigrate. Tasmania, New South Wales, Queensland, wherever you like. But just get out of the place and come here where it's sunny and happy and you can go out and enjoy yourself. And I hope Charu's enjoying himself too.
Well, Jim, hey, yes, I am to an extent, because we're still deeply locked down here in Bangalore. That all continues. But I promise not to make this a COVID report, although things are hopefully improving just a bit. By the way, India not only has a major COVID problem, but we've got typhoon problems on both the coasts. We had one on the west coast and now one on the east coast. So, you know, it's all kind of rapidly coming apart. But I'm glad that there's some cricket in the air, and with just a couple of weeks to go now, or is it a little more, to get the first World Test Championship going. So we're all looking forward to that. Me, Alison, you mentioned mental health. I'm sort of still back to basics on my physical health, because I had a golfer's elbow, playing too much, I suppose. And I'm going to the physio now, who may have corrected the golfer's elbow to an extent, but he's discovered 45 other problems. So I think I'm going to be there for a very long time.
That's very typical, isn't it? Yeah. Know what that feeling is all about. Great to see you both. And yeah, we are closing in on the start of Test cricket in England, which is great. The New Zealand series and then the World Test Championship final, with India's men arriving for that and the women playing Test cricket as well. Well, I'm delighted to say that we have a very special guest with us on this week's programme. She is one of the brightest stars of the game and a bit of a star on social media, I have to say. At just 20 years of age, she's already played in 2 T20 World Cups, including featuring in that record-breaking final at the MCG when more than 86,000 packed into the stadium and millions more watched on TV across the world. It is India and Mumbai all-rounder, Jemima Rodrigues. Jemima, welcome to Stumps.
Hey, Alison. Hi, everyone over here. I'm really excited. I mean, with the intros you all gave, I am like, okay, what do I say? Because I'm not an expert in giving all this. But I am here in Mumbai. Like the funny part is that I stay like just 10 minutes from here, but I still can't be at home. I'm here in the hotel locked in quarantine. So I think, I don't know how many days are over yet. I've lost count of days and dates locked in this room. But yeah, our quarantine will get over on the 29th and we'll be flying to UK on the 2nd with the men's team. So the men's team and the women's team are together in the same hotel, and also we'll be flying on the same flight. So yeah, really looking forward to that.
Yeah, certainly looking forward to seeing you on UK soil. Take us back then to the very start of your career, and how did you get into the sport? Where did your love of it come from?
I am someone who cannot sit quietly. Like, I am always up to some mischief, this overexcited kid and all that. So my brothers used to play cricket, and looking at them, I picked up a bat. I started playing cricket with my brothers out there. So it all started when I was, I think, around 3 years old, where my grandfather gifted me a plastic bat. So that's when I actually fell in love with the game. And then my dad started coaching me and my brothers. So yeah, that's how the story began.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned your dad, because I've read you describe him as your hero before. Tell us, a little bit more about the impact that your dad has had personally on your cricket career.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just my dad. Actually, I would even tell my mom, because she'll be bad. She'll feel bad if she's watching this video. So mom, shout out to you also. So actually, I started off, as I said, at a very young age. At that time in India, a girl playing cricket was not very accepted, I would say. So I had gone with my brother to one academy, and then they said, "No, I'm sorry, she's too small and she's a girl, so we won't be able to take her." So I felt very bad at that moment, and my dad was there. And my dad was like, "Don't worry, Jem. We'd work harder, we'd fight it out." So it was from that time, where my dad has only been my coach in coaching my brothers. And the best thing about my dad being my coach is even at that time, he never stopped me from playing cricket, being a girl.
Hi, Jamima. This is Charu Sharma. I speak from Bangalore. It's great to have you on the show. I've been a long time follower of what you've been doing in the world of cricket, and I think you are a huge credit to the Indian women's team. Congratulations. Okay, I'm going to begin with what could be a bittersweet memory, Jamima. We go back to the T20 World Cup, Melbourne, full house, fantastic crowd. What are your memories? Obviously, it didn't work out too well for India, but your memories of that time, and how did you and your teammates handle what happened on that fateful day?
So, yeah, actually, it was a day before where we were practicing on the main ground. So, our nets were outside, but we came inside to do some fielding. And that time, our coach was Raman sir. So, he came up, we were in a huddle, and he spoke to us. He said, if I could, ever want to be in a historic moment, it would be tomorrow playing at the MCG in front of 90,000 people. So he said, whatever's going to happen tomorrow, I just want all of y'all to enjoy and cherish this moment, because you'll never get this moment ever again to, kind of relive it. So that was how we had the mindset to go in. And I remember, just walking in, we were fielding first, and my parents had come. They traveled all the way, from India to watch, and the stadium was fully packed. It was fully packed. And it was very difficult for me. I was feeling at deep mid wicket. It was very difficult for me to side the ball because we're not used to playing in front of so much crowd. And the whole stadium was packed, but after that we just got used to that. And I remember I looked before the match would start. I looked around if I could see my dad or my mom. I normally do that. Then I'm like, Hurry, how will I see them in front of so much crowd? But then I looked back and I saw there's a small window and there are 4 people doing like that, like that. It was very funny. And then, I saw my mom and dad there. So, but when I looked back over there and I saw them there, I knew that, no matter what happens today, I mean, these guys are always going to be right behind me, backing me. So also it wasn't the easy time for me, actually, even for my teammates, after the game, we all were heartbroken. We were trying to play it cool, okay, nothing has happened, because we are a very young side. And our seniors also, Smriti is 24, and she had to kind of maintain that composure. But that day we decided, we're going to learn from this. And this team itself, it has so much promise that the day is not far where it's going to win a World Cup for India. So, and make India proud. So, yeah.
Without question, without question. Now, I don't think we should be talking about ages, but if you don't mind, I will. I think you made the India under-19s when you were only 13. And I think you started playing for India, when you were 16. So, were you ready for the kind of pressures that playing for India bring on? Or would you have preferred perhaps making a debut a little later? How ready were you that early?
Honestly, I felt that I should have played for India 2 years before. No, the thing was that I had performed in the domestic games in almost every game, except the 3 most important games, which were the 2 challengers games, which is like India A, India B, India C. From there, you get selected for the India team. So in those 2 games, I got out on 0 and 1. And then there was one more game against Railways, where I got out on 0 again. And Railways is like the entire Indian team. Like out of 11, 9 members are currently playing for India. So if you do well against them, it's like, it's a big thing to score and good for your selection. So I didn't do well. I was averaging in under 19s, I was averaging 376. But then I heard that, the selector said that she's not scoring against a big team. So what's the use? So I was very frustrated and kind of, annoyed with me that, okay, I've worked so hard, I've scored so much, but when it mattered the most, I didn't. So that actually changed a lot. I worked harder, developed new shots. Then again, the next season came. And I had a double century in a 50-over game and also 1,013 runs in 11 games. And, everything was set. Then the challengers came. Long story short, challengers. So there was a lot of pressure because, the past was playing in my mind. But then just to overcome that and be the 3rd highest run scorer, even in the challengers. And then that's how I made my selection for India. So I would say everything fell at the right time. I mean, if I would have got selected 2 years earlier, where I thought it was a perfect timing for me, I don't think I would have made such an impact as 2 years later when I had to work harder, develop my game,
Jim Maxwell in Sydney, and it's lovely to hear a refreshing approach that you bring to the game of cricket. But an interesting little point about India and Australia in particular. Some years ago, Indian cricketers were very deferential towards Australians. In fact, Indian cricketers used to ask Australian cricketers for their autographs. Now they look them in the eye. How does it go in women's cricket? How do you look at the Australian women's team? Are you overawed by them in any way? What's it like, that relationship?
So honestly, what I would say, Aussies are not very friendly. So I don't know if they're naturally like that or what. But I think it's just their approach. They have always been like that on the field. So yeah, but I think cricket, as you said, has changed a lot. I mean, now the approach is just different. You see, Shefali, she just walk in and she doesn't care who's bowling. She'll just, if it's in a zone, she'll go and smack it. So I think when it comes to the game wise, everyone's just confident in their own abilities, and it doesn't matter if you're playing Australia, England, or any country. For that reason, we just believe that we are good enough. That's why we are at this level, and over here we have come to dominate. We have come here, to compete and play some good cricket.
So do you think that women cricketers in India are as respected as much as the men by the administration?
I think it has changed a lot. Like all these things just started following and changed. So I think again, the better cricket we play, the more all these things will follow. So we don't have to run after all these things, and we just have to play good cricket. And at the end over here, we are not here to complain or kind of do something to get respect from others. But we are. I mean, I say this with all due respect, but we are here to play good cricket for the country. And at the end, our end motto is to let India win and win World Cups. So that's the main focus.
Tell us a little bit about your social media, because you're a bit of a dab hand in front of the microphone, aren't you? And you've interviewed a lot of personalities on your own social media channel. Who have been some of the favourites?
Few of my favourites first would definitely be Rohit Sharma, because I love his batting. And then recently for another company, I had interviewed AB de Villiers and Faf du Plessis. So yeah, they will be few of my favorites.
Yeah, the last 14, 15 months couldn't have been easy, Jamima, because of the lockdown, because of the whole COVID pandemic situation. Obviously, you haven't gotten to play very much at all. How have you been able to mentally, particularly, and even physically, handle this long layoff?
Honestly, it wasn't easy because we are so used to touring and traveling. If not international games, we have domestic games on always in India. Throughout the year, there are matches, and all of a sudden, everything came to a standstill. We were very excited first 2 months being at home, but then after that, you just wanted to, like, when will I go out there and play?
Or also, of course, that disappointment would have continued with the T20 challenge set to be towards the end of the IPL also being postponed because of the IPL. So that must have been a bit of a blow.
Yeah, it did, because, when you see like how in England I played the Kia Super League, I think in 2019, and then now you see Big Bash, and now the 100's going to start. So it's like, when will India have their own kind of a league, like how the men's have the IPL? When will we have like a women's T20 channel, a full-fledged one actually? We're just eagerly waiting. And I believe BCCI is, working hard and trying their best to, have a women's IPL very soon, a full-fledged one. So we all are, really looking forward to that.
Jim Maxwell again, Jamima. Just looking at the way cricket is evolving, you're going to be involved in the 100. Just tell us about your participation in the 100.
Oh, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So I remember we were waiting for the NOC from BCCI from a long time. And since we had heard about the 100 when we played the Kia Super League, so it's something new, something exciting, and I always wanted to be a part of the first edition of it. And then when we got an email from ECB and saying that we got the NOC, we all were so excited. I literally actually called up Smriti to say, hey, we got the NOC to play. So really looking forward to it, something new, something different. And I've played for the Yorkshire Diamonds. So my team is the Northern Superchargers. So I've played with few of them before. Lauren Winfield is our captain. So like really nice people. And yeah, I'm excited to be back and looking forward for some good competition.
I'd like to talk about the test match that you're going to be playing against England when you get over here, and then against Australia later in the year. Are you a test cricket fan, I guess, watching it? And does that translate to you wanting to play it? Because you are the the latest generation who have grown up with T20 and now the 100 to the 4. What do you feel about Test cricket and red ball cricket?
I am a big fan of Test cricket. I think the main reason I am a big fan of Test cricket is that we don't play a lot of Test cricket. And I've just watched it and heard so many stories from, so many legends who've played this game. And the challenges are completely different to what it is in a T20 and an ODI, where it's quite faster. But here, it's more about the mental challenges, your fitness, not just physical fitness, but mental fitness.
Do you think that if Test cricket for women is to become more of a regular feature, does it need to be played somehow at domestic level? Or do you feel it's sufficient that you're going to have, a bit of training, bit of a lead in, and then sort of leap straight into a red ball game when it's not really played domestically?
No, I think if we have more red ball cricket in domestic, it will definitely help us, because we will learn so much more. We'll have much more experience and we'll be able to apply the same things maybe over there, just like how we have it for white ball cricket. So I think, we should have more, it will help us a lot going into preparation for the international games.
On a personal note, just as an aside, the last time we met was at one of the toss ceremonies at the Mumbai T20 a couple of years ago, when your teeth were surrounded by lots of colorful rubber bands. Have they all disappeared?
They've all disappeared. So now I don't have to go to the dentist. It was kind of weird not having them. After removing them, I kept touching it with my tongue, like, where's it gone? But now I'm pretty used to it.
You've got a better smile than all the rest of us.
Thank you so much.
We can't wait to see you in action over here in the UK. It's been brilliant to have a chat with you and learn even more about you. Thanks so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you over here.
Thank you, Alison. Thank you, Charu. Thank you, James. It's really nice talking to all of you all, and hopefully do come and watch us.
Well, that's what we've got time for this week on All India Radio. My thanks to Charu Sharma and Jim Maxwell, to our special guest, Jemima Rodrigues, and of course to you all for listening. Do stay safe. Make sure you join us again next week. Bye for now.
Stumped is a BBC sport production for the BBC World Service in association with the Australian Broadcasting Corporation and All India Radio.